On this first episode of the F+F Q+A show, I talk about life after school, what happens when your hustle isn't working, and what can we do to upgrade our guests in the salon. You've got questions, we've got answers. It's the Form and Function Q&A show. All right, thanks for tuning in to the first episode of the Form and Function Q&A. Honestly, the real reason that I want to do this is I get a lot of people sending me questions about salon reality, right? How to grow a business, how to get better at a certain skill, and this I feel is going to be one of the best ways for me to be able to reach out and maybe answer one question for a lot of people and see where it goes, right? We've got a big industry and there's a lot of common issues that people always tend to think like, I'm on my own, there's nobody else dealing with this. And the reality is that across the city, across the country, across the globe, hairstylists everywhere are going through the same challenges. And so I think the more common knowledge that we have, the better that everybody will be able to be. All right, so let's get into our first question. Casey asks, I'm working in a small town and business was getting better, but all last week I didn't have a single guest. Advice to bring people in? Great question, Casey, and congratulations on being the first person to get on the F+F Q&A show. Maybe that'll have to be a fun fact at some point, depending on how long and how popular this show gets. Casey, I met you at PMTS, Paul Mitchell School, Birmingham, and you let me know after I reached back out to Casey. She let me know that she's a recent graduate. She just graduated. And honestly, my answer to you right now is simply patience. You know, I think it's just too early for you to have built a clientele yet. For us in our salon, you have to have this patience, right? Because the way that we do our training at Hairloft is we tend to hire out of school. We put people through a training program that lasts a little over a year, to be honest. And in my experience, what I have seen is even then, once completing that training program, it takes them another year, year and a half, even two for some people, but we have patience to grow our team, right? Because we're investing in them. So I think that you have to have the same patience for yourself. It is not going to happen overnight. Anytime that I've ever heard of any sort of overnight success, it's always taken months, if not years, to build the talent and the ability to do that. So for now, keep doing what you're doing, have patience, and see how it goes in another 6 or 12 months. Jack asks, I've been trying everything to build a brand and a clientele. I'm really struggling. I've started my own blog. I make myself available all the time. I network. I've been talked about in blogs. Starting a web page soon, but my hustle isn't working so well. Jack. What's going on, man? I really appreciate you putting in the question, submitting it. There's a couple of things that struck me as soon as I saw this. One, I know you guys are in a new salon down there in St. Louis, and I really hope to get down there soon so that I can check it out. From what I've seen in the photos, it looks top-notch, it looks stellar. So go back to question one, right? I think that patience still applies here. Patience is never not going to apply, but I do think that it applies, especially when you're either a new stylist or, in your case, you guys have a new salon business. At the same time, though, this is the time to make the noise. You only get the ability to make that first impression one time. And so I think that you guys need to be doing everything you can to reach out to your neighborhood and try and maybe partner up with local businesses, get your names out there. Now I know that you're saying that you've been featured in a lot of blogs, you've started your own. I wanted to see what it was that you were doing. So I went to your Facebook page, I went to your blog, and right now you've only had 3 entries on the blog. So we can't think that just because we have a blog, boom, business is going to happen, right? We have to have, just because we're doing the right steps, that doesn't always mean that we're doing the right steps right, all right? So keep doing that. And I will say that from what I'm seeing from the salon is it's more geared towards men. It's not men only, but it's geared towards men. Your blog had, of the 3 posts, only 1 catering to guys. If you're going to be in a men's focused salon, I would go all in on the men's content. Now, if you're not sure what I'm talking about, content and context and all these things, you can go back and watch some of our other social engineering videos. But you have to have the 3 C's: content, context, and commerce. And that was the last one that I noticed, was other than picking up the phone and calling you, there was no way for me to do business with you. You don't have a website yet, but when you do, you should make sure that there is a way for me to be able to book a reservation with you online. That's what discoverability is if I find you and I like you online and I want to have an offline experience, I need to be able to do that, all right? So, keep doing it, but remember, are we doing the right steps right, or just doing the right steps?
Roxanne says, Ben, I think you should really speak about ways to upsell a ticket, verbiage, and suggestions.
Oh, Roxanne, really good question. First thing though, I want to just apply a little bit of redirection here. I don't like the term upsell. I like the term upgrade. The reason that I like it more is I think that when we think of selling, we think of pushing things that people don't need to people that don't want them, right? Like a used car salesman. Right? I don't want that car. But what I think about in terms of upgrading is offering a better experience, right? When you upgrade on an airline from coach to first class, that's a better experience for you. So let's think of this. How can we upgrade our clients in the salon? To me, the answer is really simple actually, is listen, right? Listen to what your client is saying. Every guest that sits in your chair is going to have something to say. Whether they are going to say my hair is too long, you're going to offer the suggestion of we could take it shorter. If my hair is dry, what is your answer? Here is our conditioning treatment. Here is the products or the take home that you need in order to solve this challenge at home. I love the word, if we're looking for verbiage on this one, the word because. Because implies that you were in fact listening to what your guest said, and because they said this, this is now your recommendation. Is a guest going to take your recommendation every time? No, they won't. You have to build trust with people. This is a relationship business, right? There's probably people that will come across this and they don't trust my advice yet because they don't know who I am. But in the salon, when you're working with your guests, their first visit, they may not have the trust in you to take on all of your recommendations, but the longer and the more that they come back to see you, they will have more trust in you, and so they will listen to your recommendation. So don't stop recommending just because they didn't take it the first, second, third, or fourth time. It's your job to educate, it's their job to choose. So listen to what they're saying, use the word because. Cindy, I heard what you said about having fine hair, and because you wanted more volume, we're going to use thicken up. Or we're going to use this foam. Whatever the case may be, whatever it is your recommendation. But by using the word because, it allows you to engage with them based on what they said, not just because of what you're pushing. Guys, that's the first episode. I really enjoyed it. I want to hear back from you. What more would you like to see in this show? What questions do you have? You can put them in the comments, or you can hit me up at Benjamin J on Twitter. But guys, I really am excited about this, and I really appreciate the banter and the feedback that I got when I posted that I was going to do it. So I can't wait to have more episodes with you.